In Unit 5, we are looking at general periodical databases. Specifically, we're looking at Academic Search Premier and JSTOR. This particular video is about Academic Search Premier. Academic Search Premier is an EBSCO database. It's one of about 35 EBSCO databases we have. This one specifically is just periodicals. So to get to Academic Search Premier, there's two ways. We can go to Databases by Subject, and you will find Academic Search Premier right here under General All Topics. Or we can go to Databases A to Z. And as you see, since it's an A, it's right at the top, Academic Search Premier. We can click on that there. So we'll talk a little bit about advanced searching in Unit 6, but right now we're just going to focus on basic searches. So in the lecture we used the example immigrants and driver's licenses. I put the and in there because otherwise it will look for immigrants' driver's licenses as a phrase, and I don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and search. I'm not going to specify scholarly, but you can do that right here. Okay, so we had 294 results. That's actually very low. There are other ways you can narrow it down. If we go over to this side, the left-hand side, oops, don't want to do that. I can specify whether I just want newspapers, magazines, or scholarly journals. We always want full text, so we have that checked. I'm going to suggest let's just look at magazines to start. Here's a good one, driver's licenses for immigrants. So let's go ahead and click on that. So the important pieces here are, this is the title of the article, this is the author, this is the name of the publication. It's called State Legislatures, it's a magazine. June 2014 is the date of publication, 40 is the volume, issue is 6, and the page is 11. It says 11 to 11, so that usually means it's less than one page. So for your citations, you would only put 11. It tells us it's an article. That's good to know in case it was a report of a different kind. I also want to draw your attention to these specific subject terms. So if I click on undocumented immigrants, Academic Search Premier would do another search for me on that specific subject term. But then we would lose the driver's licenses. So I think we're fine as we are. So to view the article, if it's available in regular text, you'll find it just below here. I did want to mention also that there is an abstract, which is a brief description of what the article's about. With scholarly journals, they'll be much longer, but for short articles, they're fairly short. So there is no regular text available. So we need to go over and open the full text PDF. I actually prefer this because the article appears just as it did in the publication. And you can see right here, it keeps the graphics. It only takes up half a page, it's fairly short. So that's the PDF version. Now I do have options. I can save this to my Google Drive. I have to be logged in, or it will ask you to log in. So it's easier to do on your own computer than on a public, but you can do it. You can print the article, you can email it to yourself, or you can save all the articles you find to a folder and then email yourself the contents of the folder. Finally, I want to point out the cite feature. People get very excited when they see this. So EBSCO is offering to do the citation for us, which is wonderful, but ultimately you're responsible for your work. So you need to make sure that the citation is correct against what you've learned so far, against the MLA handout that was available and the MLA website we have on the library homepage. So I can take a quick look at it, and just because I do this all the time, I can tell you that it's correct. So if I were going to transfer this, copy and paste it into a works cited list, I would have to make sure that it was double spaced, but other than that, it's correct. So that's great. So let me go back to the record, and then go back to the result list. So as I said, we just need to narrow it down over here. There are other options for limiting, such as you can do it by date, by publisher. So there's many different ways. So this is just a really brief introduction to Academic Search Premier. Next we're going to do JSTOR. That'll be a separate video. Okay, so go out and try Academic Search Premier.